pleasure and the honor to welcome Orianne Collins with us this evening, and I'm really happy that she accepted my invitation. So, hi, Orianne. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good, good, good.
Nice to meet you. So I'm Orianne Collins. I'm a jewelry designer from Switzerland, and I'm the president of the Little Dream Foundation for the last 22 years. Foundation that take care of children, and the aim is to help them have a proper job in the field of art, music, and sport.
Right. And those children are, I think, disadvantaged, right? You give
Yeah,
them the
without
opportunity. Sorry.
yeah,
Yeah.
without financial means, they
Right.
do anything, and without the help of the foundation, they will not be able to do anything.
Yes. Okay. So we'll get into that in a second. It is definitely the topic that we want to cover here every week about how people care for other people and
Yeah,
how you influence and how you impact other people. That's really, and in the context also of enterprise, because, we coaching here, we mediating, we're doing all kind of things in the enterprise environment, the corporate environment, but also people that are watching that are with us and will watch also the recorded version of this are usually influencers, and we call it influencers, right? People who have at least impact. They look for meaningful stories and they look to be themselves influencing and inspiring. So that's why we are going to talk with you, Oriane, about this project here, this existing association. I want to just a few words of housekeeping. I just want to make sure that everybody uh, subscribe on YouTube, on the YouTube channel. The second thing I also want to tell you is that yes, it is recorded, and you can find this on the multiple channels where we are. We are live now on LinkedIn. We are live on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, and also podcast. We'll give the information about the podcast on our website, www.andrepolitzer.com or majesty.com. And what else can I say about maintenance and housekeeping? Everything is good. Everything is good, works. And oh, yes, there's one thing important I have to say. You've got a chat over there that people can use. And I'm going to, in fact, activate it now. It doesn't mean that, unfortunately, we cannot reply to your chat, but at least we can see it. So if you have any questions for Orianne, if you have any comments to make, anything while we are speaking, please do that, and we'll try to see it and reply to you. Okay, so that's it for the housekeeping. So
okay.
Orianne, so you saying that it's been 20 years you're doing this,
Yes,
and that's also incredible that you in your creative mind that you are a jewelry designer, think of any kind of art to reach out to these children and give them the opportunity to be on stage and to become I don't know if they're going to become famous, but at least they have a job, as you said.
yeah. The idea is that we give them a life to be able to live from their passion and to become professional. We have lots of examples during the years that it works, and some kids that, I mean, I remember the first kid that we had in the foundation came from Morocco,
Right,
and in a country club, and I was watching this kid playing against the wall with a little piece of wood and a ball.
right,
So I went to him and I say, "Don't you want to have a racket so you could play, better?"
right,
And he said, "Yes, please. That would be so nice, you know." And I had the translator with me, of course, because the kid didn't speak English.
right,
So I say to him the next day, I was watching him playing and playing and playing, and I say to him, "Don't you want to have some proper lesson and learn how to play tennis properly?" And he said, "Yes, I would love that." So he became number one in Morocco, and he's now the coach of all the other kids, tennis kids. He is a father of a little girl, and he live, in a nice apartment with his wife. I mean, we changed his life. I
right,
mean, living in a favela with like 20 people in a 2 meter square, and now he has a job. He he was number one in Morocco,
Yes,
which is great, you know, uh, achievement for him. And the fact that now he's taking care of the kids of the foundation, I think it's unbelievable.
really is. Oh wow, this what a story.
And
And
7 years ago, I had a very big accident that happened to me, and it left me paralyzed head down.
really, okay,
And since then, I created a foundation called Never Give Up
right.
for the people who have spinal cord injuries.
Mm-hmm.
And since then, I have the bronzy cord syndrome, which means that half of my body is paralyzed, and the other half, I don't feel the heat, the cold, and the pain. So on a day-to-day base, it's a very hard living situation, and I have to do a lot of therapy in order to be able to walk. They say to me that I will never walk again, but as you can see, I'm up and, and
Yeah, yeah.
moving.
Well, you're Orianne Collins. That's what who you are, right? You have pretty much resilience and certainly the nature of fighting, like you always fought, and you're also an entrepreneur and have
Yeah,
those stores. Do you
but
still? I mean, how many stores do you have in Miami?
we have a couple of stores now in Miami, but we had to close our main store because they bought the building.
Okay.
Now we are looking for another space to be.
Yes.
Uh, did couture in Las Vegas last weekend,
Okay.
which was nice, nice event. There's a lot of people. It was very hot,
It
120 degrees.
is.
I mean, it was crazy. But yeah, I think that the fact that I create Never Give Up. I did something in 2014 that was the date of my accident, and in 2017
Right.
I decided to climb the highest peak in Switzerland, which is the Matterhorn.
Right.
And I trained for a year in order to be able to climb that mountain. And I had the picture of the mountain in front of me, and every day I say, I'm going to climb you, I'm going to climb you. And I was a master, and walking and walking and climbing and climbing. Anyway, in 2017, at 3 a.m. in the morning, we went to do the climb. So it was in the middle of the summer in July, the 14th of July. And I was like,
Yeah.
there's grass. It was
Yeah.
nice.
The summer. Right.
Summer.
Right.
So we arrived to the top,
Yes.
the lift, and I came out, and it was blizzard, ice, snow,
Wow.
everything. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't sign for that at all. What is this? I thought it was summertime. It was like grass, and
Well,
it
what was the altitude? You know, do you remember the altitude? How high?
was
Was it?
4,000-meter high.
Yeah, that's pretty high. Yes.
And then we went up to 4,320. And so we start to walk. I mean, we had to put the pick, we had to put everything for 5 hours and a half.
Yes.
My guide said to me, do not look up.
Right.
So I was like thinking to myself, why are you saying to me, do not look up? Anyway, I arrived to the top of the mountain. It was unbelievable. I mean, I had no air.
Right.
It
You're
was very
lacking
hot
nutrient. Yeah.
and everything. But when we were on the top of the mountain, the cloud opened up, the sun came. It was magical. It
Right.
was just magical. And I put two flags down, one for the Little Dream Foundation, saying to them that if you believe in your dream, you
Yes.
can achieve it. And for the people who have a spinal cord injury like I did, never give up, that you could always do it and prove that You know, you can change a lot of things in your body. If your mind is thinking positive, you could change everything. You know, you could change the fact that I was 2 years and a half in a wheelchair,
Yes.
and I say I want to walk. I
Yes.
want to walk. And they say to me in the hospital, what do you want to do? What is your objective? You know? And I say, I want to walk. And
Hmm.
they say, no, 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 no. Something like more easy, like you want to be transferred from the bed to your wheelchair, or the wheelchair to the shower,
Right.
kind of objective they wanted me to have. And I say, no way. I want to walk. I just want to walk. And one time a doctor came in my room and she said to me, you have to understand that this is what you are, and you will not be able to walk. So,
Yeah.
you know, more you understand it, easier it's going to be on you. And I say, are you crazy? And
Yeah.
I'm here, my mom who was in the room, and I'm like, I mean, did you hear what she said? That I will never be able to walk? No, I will be able to walk. I will be able to be myself again, you know? And I went into a battle against myself. I had to relearn everything:
Yeah.
how to write, how to design, how to cook,
Yes.
how to swim, how to drive, everything. Because everything is in the head, but nothing worked. It's like a computer that broke down.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the only objective is like to think, okay, now I had my little toe moving on the right side. I say to myself, if this one move, I'm gonna make everything else move. And I did it. And I think it's important for the people who had, you know, an accident, that are in my position.
Yes.
And why I created the foundation Never Give Up is to help them in the 3 first months, because they have no insurance, they have nothing. And if they are the provider in a family, they have some invoices to pay. They have to take care of the kids, they have to take care of the wife, the rent,
A lot of
everything,
things change. Yes.
you know, because the world is upside down from one
Hmm.
day to the other. And so with the foundation, we help them in the 3 first months, and we help them also to find the best treatment, you know,
Yes.
and uh, also the help, mental
Mental
health
support. Yeah.
support, because it's a trauma, you know, it's a pure trauma. And I think in the 3 first months, if you could help someone, it could change his life. You know, he could be able to walk again, he could be able to do everything again. And to give you an example, 2 years ago, I decided to run the 5K in Miami.
Right.
And I took one of my pals that he's doing therapy with me. He has exactly the same thing that I do, spinal cord injury, but on the right side.
Right.
Between the two of us, we could be one normal
Complement
person.
each other. Right.
But he was in the wheelchair, so I was pushing the wheelchair for him for 5K, and we did it. We finished the
Right.
5K. My older son was with us. It was like a magical moment. And my friend who I was pushing said to me, "You're crazy, you know, you
Yeah.
completely crazy.
You need to be a little bit crazy.
What else?
Yeah.
What else you gonna make me do? You know?" But he's walking now. He's out of the wheelchair. So, you know, I was happy in this therapy center that I am in Miami, that I became like you know,
Inspiration.
their inspiration and the good luck,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
to
You.
see that I came from in a wheelchair, walking, running, and be
And
normal
climbing a mountain.
and climbing a mountain.
Right, right.
And so for them it's an inspiration, and it makes them want to do the same.
Yes.
And so like every year, when we wish everybody a happy new year, we say, okay, what is your goal this year? So one say I want to walk, the other one say I want to run, the other one say I want to stand up, be able to take care of myself, stuff like that. So we kind of make wishes to each other, but then we push each other to achieve the goal that we say that we were going to do. And at the end of the year we say, okay, did you achieve what you say that you're going to be doing in the 1st of January this year? And they say, yes, I'm going to do it. So my wish
Yes.
was, there's a machine that calculates how you walk.
Hmm.
So they give you percentage, on the right, on the left, the weight you put. And I wanted to broke the machine to have 100%. You know, every day I try.
Yes.
Every day I try. And I was 97, 98,
Right.
then 96. Then I came back to 99. I just broke it. And then one day I broke the machine and it was 100.
100. You could
And I was
celebrate. Yeah.
like, I fucking
You made
did
it.
it. And I yelled so hard in the physiotherapy center. Everybody was like clapping and everything. It was amazing. And then you have to keep up, so you have to broke the record every day.
Yes. Yes.
It was like I've been on the machine when the COVID started, and every day I was on the machine trying and trying and trying until I broke the machine.
Yes. Yes.
And I think that it's a message for everybody that if you believe in yourself, you could do whatever you want. You
Absolutely.
you could
The,
you know
the,
I read in lots of books that we only use 20% of our capacity.
mhm.
Imagine if we were using
Very
50
small, right? Well, 20%.
or 60% of our capacity. It will be like magical. You could fly. I'm sure you could fly.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. You
Look
could fly.
who's coming.
And even your friend here could fly.
My little friend came
He's
here.
cute.
Hello.
Hello
You're
there.
right to be here.
He's also a companion. Listen, Orion, this is an incredible story you're sharing with us, and I think that many probably do not know you. Um, I knew you from the business side of your life,
Yes.
your corporate life, your entrepreneurial life, and when you came to the U.S. with your stores and the luxury stores that you're still running today. But look, this is what people can see, right? It's something happens in your life, and it shouldn't happen to, in fact, make people react, be proactive and preventive, that they can be giving all the time. I think that the
Yes.
giving is something that will never cost anybody to give. It's always rewarding. The second thing that I hear from your story, the second thing that I hear from your story, of course, it's resilience to to an extent that is exemplary. You're really a role model here, sharing those two stories, and your reaction when something happens to you is to create a foundation and to help others. I mean, this is the reaction that you have. You know that you have stretched to an extent that, in fact, probably in your mind you had the purpose that you will affect other people positively. You will influence other people, and that probably is also a good energy, a good fuel to accomplish what you did, because you accomplished the impossible. This is really mission impossible. When doctors tell you you can't walk, right? And so many doctors say sometimes stupid things, right? I'm sorry to say it, but that's true.
No, it's true.
Yeah, right. And you should never believe doctors to the extent when, especially, they come with this kind of bad news. Because look, we prove all the time. We prove. I mean, patients prove all the time that they're wrong. So the thing that I'm trying to say here is, in one person that is Orianne Collins in front of us today, we have an example of not only someone who really had this reaction, but 20 years ago, before any accident, already created this foundation for the dream. It's called the Little Dreams for children, and it's amazing. And it probably will never stop. You will do probably other things too, right?
Yeah. I mean, the objective is, you have, when you successful in life, you always have to think of others.
Yeah.
Like I teach my children, I say you have to be, a humble person, and you have to help your other person in life. It's important to be like a gentleman, and to help others in what they're doing, because you are in a position in life where it's maybe more easy than some other kids, and you have to share. You
Yeah.
have to share. You have to share your love. You have to share your knowledge. You have to share in order for them to be able to live. And
Yes.
um, I can see that in my kids, that they're now, my oldest is 21 years old, and he's a drummer.
Right.
He's drumming for his father, for Phil Collins, and for Genesis.
Yes.
He's super humble kid. He's a great gentleman, and he's always there, to help anybody, you know. And he came to do the 5K with me in order to support me in what I'm doing. He say that, my mom is crazy. She always have like some, like objective in life, but
Yeah.
I trust her, and I want to, show her appreciation, and I want to believe in what she's doing. And he was there. He was running with his girlfriend, and it was magical because there was all these people who never thought that they will be able to do it. They did it.
Right.
And
Yes.
I forced my team, all my team, to do the run with us. So they had to train and to do the race with us. So I had all my team with me, that they were saying, "Oh my God, what is it in your mind?" I say, "It's obligatory."
Yes.
They, yes or no? It's
It's gonna
obligatory.
happen.
You
Yeah.
have
It's gonna
it's
happen.
mandatory. You have to do this race with me. And
Oh,
so
and
we,
yeah, I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt you, but there is one thing that you keep saying that is very important, because I use this a lot in coaching. When people have, they have to get out of their comfort zone, when they have to achieve something like presenting, for example, in front of an audience. There's
yeah,
many people who have this problem going out on stage. So, what in fact is driving all of this, which I insist and we use and we work on that, which is what you said, the mindset. All is in your mind. The mind
yeah,
can drive everything. And when you decide, it's not only to have the will and the strength to go to the bottom like you go, but and you can really find incredible power. This image always of the mother who can save the child, and lift the truck to save the child's life, and can lift the truck of several tons with her arms, because she has the will. And this is a real story. So
yeah,
the mind is the power of any human being, and
yeah,
especially in all the challenges that we live in life. And work is really nothing compared to what life also can be about, like an accident
yeah.
like yours. So I'm so grateful that you're sharing those stories, because this is really supporting this theme that I think has been proven all the time. We can change people's mindset. Even when someone comes into a room with a negative mindset, someone who wants to say some bad words about someone, or is just in a bad mood, or wants to really destroy something, that's called a negative mindset. People like you, people like who are always building and always reaching their goals to when they are very high, can always switch this kind of minds. So what I'm trying to say is that it's not only hope. You're not only giving hope, and through your foundations now, giving the resources, material resources, spiritual resources, and mental resources for people to really go beyond their capacity. As you said, 20% is the average you see on books
Yeah.
that we use of our capacity. So coaching, looking and listening to people like Orianne, and getting under the shadow of people like Orianne. And there was many other examples in the world of people who could achieve incredible things, but it starts right there in the mind. And that's what I'm trying to say is so important. Sorry, I wanted to mention that.
You're right.
Yeah,
That it's funny because I remember the day I say to Phil, I'm gonna climb the mountain. He looks at me and he say, "Are you crazy or what?" I said, "No, no, no, I'm not crazy. I'm gonna do it." And then the day of the climb, he said to me, "Don't worry. If you don't arrive to the top, at least you tried."
right,
And I said to him, "Are you joking? If I'm gonna try, I'm gonna be there on
right,
top." So I went on top and I called him and I say, "I did it." And he say, "You're totally mad. I never seen someone as driven like you are. And to achieve something like that, it's unbelievable."
right. Yes,
But I trained so hard for a year. I was going up and down in parking place in Lincoln Road in Miami. I was going up and down the stairs, and everybody was looking at me like, "Is she crazy or what she's doing?"
I would like your story to really reach out to more people than tonight with my little audience here. It's important that people know about that story. How can you make it more known in the world?
Um, I made a documentary and
Yes.
on Instagram on Never Give Up Foundation
Okay.
and USA, and you could see the film. It tells you all the story, my story,
Yes.
and it's a 25-minute documentary. It's very interesting and it's very sad in the same time because there is the ups and the downs,
Yes.
whenever something like that happened to you. But I think it's a message of hope, of love, and it's helped people to get through, hard moment in life
Yes.
because time, we are like stuck in a place, we are in difficulties, could be work wise, could be affectional wise, love wise, or whatever, but there's always hope. And if your mind is in a good place, if your mind is a positive place, you could change everything.
Yes.
And this is the message I think the most important is to say that if you think positive, you can change everything in positive,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah.
And uh, it could be in business wise, you're in front of someone that you are making a deal with, and the person in front of you arrive with an attitude, with activity, you have to contemplate it to make this person more happy and more
That's right.
positive.
Yeah.
You
You can switch it around. Yeah. You can
can
switch it
switch
around.
it, and
Great.
that's the key, because otherwise, you're in front of everybody has bad mood, bad moments. It's a fact.
Yes.
Uh, there's no reason in not to be happy if you could be able to walk, if you could be able to live and breathe every day,
Yes.
because people don't know how bad it is to one day to another to lose everything.
Yeah.
And that's what I had, 7 years ago. I had everything in my life positive, and then from one day to the other,
You were challenged like that.
I was crashed on
Falls
the
on you. Yes. Yes. And then you stand up
world
again.
upside down.
Orion stands up again, walks up again, does business again.
You have
So
to do everything,
everything again at the 100, breaking the machine. So tell me, where do we find you now? Just to give a website for the
Oh,
foundation and the website for the little dreams.
so Little Dreams is www.ldf.cc, and for Never Give Up is NGU USA, and for the jury and for me and for different things, it's OrianneCollins.com.
Okay. Okay. Well, it's a short time. I hope to have you back, and we can
With
continue the
pleasure.
story, and with good things, with good tidings, good news, and good things, because you bring so much positiveness that life should be positive and shine for you for many years to come.
Thank you
Okay.
so
Thank you,
much.
Orion, for joining. I really appreciate it.
You.
Thank
Thank
you. Take care.
you.
Thank you,
Bye.
everybody. Bye, everybody. Bye.